Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lesser Saints of Discord. I don't know where Jables disappeared to. Oh, I think I just... No, I didn't. Hold on, guys. I apologize for this. I may have to restart Discord real quick. Sorry about this. Yeah, that seems to have... No, not OBS. Goddamn technical difficulties. Oh, Jables' mic was not working, so he has to restart that. Apologies for this whole shit show. I will go into new stuff on the Discord, I suppose. we don't have much going on now. Minor discussions on some some channel description stuff going on in the mod discussion, but that's about it. And that applies to people in general. Just waiting on Jables to get his mic working.
Is it working now?
Yes, it is. Now we have his audio
yes,
again.
Yes, it is. Oh, Jesus Christ. What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Welcome to the Lesser Saints Discord, your one and only pre-show to the YouTube Saints, coming at you every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If your clock says something different, then you are either in another time zone or we're liars. I'm Jables. Joined with me is Rimshee. And any Discord news?
I already went over that. There's not really
Alright.
much going on beyond the discussion about potential changes to channel descriptions to make them more clear.
Also, I'd like to say we're planning on doing more regular town halls with the mods. So, if you guys could just let us know.
Yeah, right now we're planning on hopefully doing at least one within the next week, but we have to verify that there are enough mods there to actually make it viable. It might happen at roughly the same time as last time, but we also may do another one this week, so those who can't join in for that one can join in on the other one. Keep an eye on server announcements for exact dates and times, and and please be there if you can.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to announce the Saints are staying on Sundays until the end of the month, and then they will be switching to another time to be determined later. Yeah. So, it's all local Discord news, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else going on at the moment. At least that affects the Discord on a major scale. Just pretty much the the channel description changes.
Yeah. All right. Same old shit. Same day.
Well, at least it's minor stuff. We don't have to make big sweeping changes or anything like that.
Yeah. All right. So, our first article is more local news for you. You want to start this one off?
All right. So as you can see, apparently California's devastating fires are man-caused, but not in the way they're telling us. I'm interested to see how this one works.
Yeah, I'm curious about this
All
one
right.
myself. Because as you all know, we don't pre-read articles. We just grab the headlines.
Yeah, why would we do that?
There's no fun in that.
California is once again on fire. Northern California's car fire has killed 6 people, two of them firefighters, and continues to burn out of control, claiming more than 700 homes and about 100,000 acres. As a citizen soldier in the California Army National Guard for 2 decades, I often. Wait, what the fuck?
Rimshee, I didn't know you were a citizen soldier in the California Army National Guard for two
Get fucked,
decades.
Jables. Citizen soldier, that is just the most retarded thing I have ever heard of. I mean, I know the concept of citizen soldier, but at the same time, if you're in the National Guard, you're not a citizen soldier. You're a fucking reservist.
Yeah.
Anyway, as a weekend warrior in the California Army National Guard for 2 decades, I often heard the gallows humor quip that California's four seasons were flood, fire, earthquake, and riot. You know, I've actually never heard that one, but since earthquake technically wouldn't fall under a season, it's that's the only inaccuracy I can see.
Yeah, is. Oh, I thought riot season was summer. Isn't that the same as fire season?
No, fire season is
Wait, did they do. Hold on. Water, fire, earth, air.
no, cuz that's more earth. Anyway, but what was once an expected part of living in the Golden State is now blamed on larger forces. A crisis, we are told, should never go to waste. In that vein, the Sacramento Bee editorial board blamed the Cal Fire Foursquare on a man-caused buildup of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. In an editorial headline, the car fire is a terrifying glimpse into California's future, they write. This is climate change, for real and in real time. We were warned that the atmospheric buildup of man-made greenhouse gas would eventually be an existential threat. Existential threat. I know. I fucked that one up. The B editorial board goes on to attack President Trump for proposing to end California's exceptional waiver for federal law regarding auto emissions. In this case, California's push to curtail tailpipe carbon dioxide, something never envisioned when the Clean Air Act was debated in 1970. At the time, the concern was pollution that directly harmed health rather than carbon dioxide, a naturally occurring gas exhaled by every living animal. The problem with the Bee's editorial is that making a passionate argument is no substitute for the truth. In 2005, while a freshman California assemblyman, I had the chance to visit Northern California and meet with the forest product industry professionals who grew, managed, and harvested trees on private and public lands. They told me of the worrisome trend starting years earlier where both federal and state regulators were making it more and more difficult for them to do their jobs. As a result, timber industry employment gradually collapsed, failing in 2017 or falling in 2017 to half of what it was 20 years earlier, with imports from Canada, China, and other nations filling domestic needs. As timber harvesting permit fees went up and environmental challenges multiplied, the people who earned a living felling and planting trees looked for other lines of work. The combustible fuel load in the forest predictably soared. No longer were forest management professionals clearing brush and thinning trees. But fire suppression efforts continued. The result was accurately forecast by my forest management industry hosts in whatever county that is, in 2005. Larger, more devastating fires so hot that they sterilized the soil, making regrowth difficult and altering the landscape. More importantly, fires that increasingly threaten lives and homes as they became hotter and more difficult to bring under control. In 2001, George E. Gruelle, a wildlife biologist with 5 decades of experience in California and other western states, authored a book, Fire in Sierra Nevada Forests, a photographic interpretation of ecological change since 1849. Gruelle's remarkable efforts compared hundreds of landscape photographs from the dawn of photography with photos taken from the same location 100 years later or more. The
Do you think they
difference
could have
was
added another variation of the word photo in there? Sorry.
probably the difference was striking. In the 1850s and 1860s, the typical Sierra landscape was of open fields of grass, punctuated by isolated pine stands and a few scattered oak trees. The first branch on the pine trees started about 20 feet up, lower branches having been burned off by low-intensity grass fires. California's Native American population had for years shaped this landscape with fire to encourage the grasslands and boost the game animal population. As the gold rush remade modern California, timber was harvested and replanted. Fires were suppressed because they threatened homes, as well as burned up valuable resources. The landscape filled in with trees, but the trees were harvested every 30 to 50 years. In the 1990s, however, that cycle began to be disrupted with increasingly burdensome regulations. The timber harvest cycle slowed, and in some areas, stopped completely, especially on almost 60% of California's forest land owned by the federal government. Federal lands have not been managed for decades, threatening adjacent private forests, while federal funds designed for forest maintenance have been borrowed for fire suppression expenses. The policies frequently reduce the economic value of the forest to zero, and with no intrinsic worth remaining, interest in maintaining the forest declined, and with it, resources to reduce the fuel load. Some 2 decades ago, California produced so much wood waste from its timber operations, including brush and small trees from thinning forests, that the resulting renewable biomass powered electric generating plants across the length of the state. But cheap subsidized solar power combined with air quality concerns, where wood doesn't burn as cleanly as natural gas, and a lack of fuel due to cutbacks in logging led to the closure of many biomass generators. What used to be burned safely in power generators is now burned in catastrophic fires, including the growing capture and use of landfill methane as a fuel. California's biomass energy generation last year was 22% lower than it was 25 years before. You know
Huh.
that section right there is something to talk to Sire about. He has things to say about coal specifically, but I'm sure many of his thoughts would extend to this. The issue was summarized by Western Governors Association in their 2006 Biomass Task Force report, which noted over time, the fire-prone forests that were not thinned burned in uncharacteristically destructive wildfires, and the resulting loss of forest carbon is much greater than would occur if the forest had been thinned before fires moved through. Failing to thin leads to a greater greenhouse gas burden than the thinning created in the first place. And that doesn't even account for the avoided fossil fuel greenhouse gas emissions due to the production of energy from the forest thinnings. In the long term, leaving forests overgrown and prone to unnaturally destructive wildfires means there will be significantly less biomass on the ground and more greenhouse gas in the atmosphere. The Sacramento Bee editorial concluded with a stark warning. California must plan now for these and other aspects of global warming, as more of the state becomes too hot, too dry, or too fire or flood prone to safely live in, and as more of the world braces for the era of climate refugees. Whether global climate change is a problem that can be solved by California is a dubious proposition. 1 year's worth of emission growth in China is greater than California's total emissions. But the action needed to reduce the state's growing forest fire threat would be the same regardless of one's belief in any problems posed by climate change. Start managing our forests again. Chuck DeVore is vice president of I think this is about the
The
uh
author.
the author. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's about the author.
Question: with that California needs to prepare for an era of climate refugees. Are they expecting people to go to California as climate refugees?
Apparently, for fuck's sake,
No,
apparently, or they're
people are
planning
gonna
on
go
people
north.
escaping California, in which case we can do
Yeah.
this shit Mad Max style. I have new reason to stay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then when you get overrun by hordes and hordes of, well, no, you'll be fine. Never mind.
Yeah, remember who you're talking to.
But climate refugees, they're not gonna go to California. They're going to go North and Center America. But, yeah, a lot of them went to Colorado. It's like California light, but with like real people. Yeah.
I would take insult to that, but
you don't count. You're an exception. Hashtag not all. Yeah, I like Sarah's little comment. Abandon California, let it burn as it falls off the U.S. into
Oh,
the
why am I
Mexico
not updating? That's
ocean.
weird.
I don't know. Things were going fine all day, and then all of a sudden I had all sorts of technical difficulties. Right as we start, my mic decided to stop working. Literally right as we started. And then my audio stopped working right as I got my mic working again. So, God, fucking damn it. Good show.
So apparently the live chat stopped working for me. I had to restart that. So I missed everyone's comments.
I've been browsing through them. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Sire's massive just what the fuck.
Yeah, isn't carbon dioxide supposed to put out fires? I don't know.
Carbon dioxide would actually put out fires, because it reduces the in high enough concentrations at least, because since technically carbon dioxide is heavier than air, well, not technically, it is heavier than air. If you have a high enough concentration, it will just displace all the oxygen in a container.
Yeah.
And as a result, you can't burn anything in that. Which is why you usually treat gases like liquid. They have minor differences in how they function, but it's fairly similar.
Yeah. At least the heavier gases.
Yeah.
So, speaking of fires and what's causing them, I think it's time for my local news on forest fires.
Yeah, let's move on to that one.
Washington shooting ban begins Saturday. Target shooting and other gun use will be prohibited, but discharge of a firearm for legal hunting is still permitted, officials said.
Based on that statement alone, it's utter stupidity.
Keep in mind, this is about fires. This isn't about firearms in general. God damn.
Yes, that's correct, Y2K.
The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife is adding a temporary statewide restriction on firearm use beginning Saturday. The restriction adds to fire prevention rules already in place on Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife managed lands. Weeks of dry weather have raised the threat of wildfire on both sides of the Cascades, and it's critical for all of us to avoid doing anything that could damage or destroy fish and wildlife habitat, said Cynthia Wilkerson, manager of the department's lands division. For those of you that don't know, on the west side of the Cascades, that's where all the that's where all the Seattle rains all the time shit happens. On the east side of the Cascades, it is high desert. All of it. All of it's just fucking desert. Just a little geography tip for you guys. The department, the department's action follows Governor Jay Inslee's proclamation earlier this week of a state of emergency for wildfire threats across the state. Target shooting and other gun use will be prohibited, but discharge of a firearm for legal hunting is still permitted, officials said. In our area, the shooting ban adds to a comprehensive list of these activities. These activities are prohibited right now. Fires or campfires, including those in fire rings, personal camp stoves, and lanterns fueled by propane. Liquid petroleum or liquid petroleum gas are allowed. That's weird. Smoking, except in an enclosed vehicle. Literally, you can't walk down the street and smoke a cigarette. Technically. Without getting some sort of burn ban violation. Nobody stopped me yet, though, so I think I'm good. The discharge of firearms for target shooting or other purposes by anyone not engaged in lawful hunting. Apparently, bullets cause fire, by the way. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Okay, you know, I can actually talk about that one a bit.
Please do. Please do.
Their concern is that if it hits a rock or something and causes a ricochet, that a spark could fly off. And in theory, they're not wrong. In fact, you can hit you hit something that's hard enough, you can see a minor you can see a minor spark or a spot of light. It's kind of fascinating. If you go to some Talf Latermouse videos, you'll see that. The other possibility is they're thinking, oh, the flash from the end of the barrel is gonna catch shit on fire, which, whatever. But it's since they're talking about target shooting or general discharge, they're worried about a spark coming off the target, or spark being caused by the interaction between the target and the what's it called? The target and the bullet, creating a fire. But which is really stupid, because if you're doing it at a range, you have no worries about creating that, because they keep that shit tight.
Yeah. I'm sure there's probably an extra little thing about being in a range.
Probably not.
It's just not in this article.
Yeah.
Eastern Washington, they just shoot everywhere.
There ain't nothing to catch on fire.
There's no houses back there, right? That's a dirt mound, right? Let's shoot at it. Cool. So welding and operating chainsaws, operating a torch with an open flame, and all equipment powered by an internal combustion engine is prohibited. So you can't even cut down your trees this summer, boys and girls. Operating a motor vehicle away from developed roads. Parking is permitted within designated parking areas, including developed campgrounds and trailheads, and in areas without vegetation that are within 10 feet of roadways. Cool. Yeah, in Western Washington, the WDFW shooting ban will be in effect until further notice at department-managed wildlife areas, boat launches, and other water access sites. All temporary restrictions will remain in effect until the risk of wildfire decreases, officials said. Any changes, plus department website, blah, 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 blah. Pretty much, instead of banning guns, They're making it illegal to shoot. You can still buy everything, own it, but they're making it illegal to shoot until fire. Actually, that's not a bad idea. If people want to ban guns, make it illegal to shoot every time a gunshot goes
Don't
off.
give them ideas.
Yeah, you can keep your guns. You just don't want to shoot them.
One of these days, Jables. One of these days.
I know.
Which side of the revolution will you be on, motherfucker?
I'll tweet at David Hogg about that suggestion. See what he thinks.
I swear to Christ.
I think that's a joke that even I won't do because it'll get carried way too far. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's it for that article. I don't have much else to say about it other than feel sorry for my friends in Eastern Washington. Because they're all gun nuts.
They're not going to care.
Well,
nor the cops.
They also have tons of hunting licenses. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's just being put in place, so that they can charge somebody with something extra if a fire does start because of it.
Wouldn't surprise me. God damn. Both your state and my state are retarded.
I understand it for Eastern Washington because like I said, it's absolute desert out there. Fires get really bad. Like, I was stuck in my hometown for like a month and a half because everything around my hometown was on fire at one point. Shit happens. So you want to talk about some cougars getting some cocks?
Yeah, let's talk about that cougar action. Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Mountain lion
Thanks,
Mountain lion breaks into wildlife sanctuary and kills peacocks.
Yep.
Oh, that title alone, they missed a golden opportunity.
Mountain lions, cougars, peacocks, same things. Pretty much. Well, not peacocks. Sorry. I misspoke.
Mountain lions, cougars, and bobcats.
And pumas.
Oh no, that I think it was puma. I don't remember exactly, but mountain lions and cougars for sure.
I don't care.
And this one's in California too.
Yeah.
So I'll read my state's bizarreness.
So wait, hold on, Bar. Cougars love the nice young cocks. Okay. Get it right.
All right. July 27th. A mountain lion broke into a California wildlife sanctuary and killed 2 peacocks before being confronted on camera by the ranch's owner. That's a fascinating name. The Sky Dog Sanctuary. Okay, that's where all good dogs go when they die.
Well, Sky Dog's my Sky God.
It's the Sky Dog Sanctuary. I'm sorry, that's bad. The Sky Dog Sanctuary, located at Sky Dog Ranch in Malibu, posted a video to Facebook showing owner Claire Staples' encounter with the mountain lion she spotted Thursday morning when she went to feed her animals. The facility is primarily a horse sanctuary, but also houses other animals, including the 2 peacocks that normally inhabit the enclosure where Staples discovered the cougar. "What are you doing in there?" Staples says to the mountain lion in the video. "You ate my peacocks, didn't you?"
So polite. That's also because in California it's illegal to kill mountain lions. You have to get special permits and everything. So there's literally nothing that this rancher could have done without facing either imprisonment or a hefty fine.
Unless the cougar was coming after her.
Yeah, but even then, it gets iffy. I've heard some stories.
Staples admits she probably came too close to the cougar for safety. Just try and entice her to attack you so you can kill that thing on sight. I couldn't actually
Eat me, motherfucker.
I couldn't actually believe what I was seeing, Staples told KTLA TV. Staples contacted state wildlife officials, but the mountain lion wandered off on its own before wardens arrived at the ranch. She says she is hoping the cougar doesn't come back, as she is concerned about the safety of her horses. That's...
Yep. That's the article.
That's the article. She's an idiot. She needs to get a gun. Yeah. She needs to get night vision, or thermal actually would be better. And she needs to scope out her fucking property and make sure that that damn mountain lion doesn't come back. I thought it was a deer. I swear.
You know, this is a pretty intense thermal scope. You could see that almost like as if it was 5 feet away from you, right? I didn't have it set at that level. I don't know what you're talking about.
How'd you land this shot square through the eyes? I don't know what you mean.
Really good.
I don't know what you mean. That was the missed shot.
Yeah. Beginner's luck. What can I say?
God damn. Night Action Cougar sounds like a movie I saw once. Fucking bar.
The cougar was tranquilized with tequila shots and dropped off at its natural habitat. The local bar on the night, the college football team is celebrating a win.
Farm Girl Banks Cougar.
Yes. Very good. Very good. That's why we read the chat. 5 stars on Pornhub. All right.
Okay.
Oh, man. Speaking of cocks, peacocks, let's talk about some atheist cocks.
Bam!
Let's talk about an entire atheist cock fest.
Now, this is WordPress, so it's not exactly an article, but he wanted to talk about it for some reason, so blame him.
I just thought it was funny. I think I got this from Christy Winters. She shared it on Twitter.
Seriously?
I thought yeah, she hasn't blocked me.
Her fucking hair now is weird.
Yeah.
It's mildly upsetting. It's like she's trying to be young and hip, but her face won't let her.
Yeah, well, it's like
And I'm not saying she looks old. I'm not saying that.
It looks like she went to a dime store salon and asked for the Ramona flowers. That's what it looks like. I think she watched Scott Pilgrim vs. the World a few too many times and thought, oh, that's cool. I'm not going to dye my hair, but I like the style.
But she didn't even get the style right, because that style has fucking has stuff in the way. It has the two, I don't want to call them bangs, but they're not exactly sideburns, but those two groupings of hair that come down on either side, right in front of the ears.
We'll call them floopy floops until a girl tells us otherwise.
Until chat tells us otherwise. Floopy floops.
Yeah, they're floopy floops.
But her face won't let her. I didn't mean that to be as mean as it probably sounded, but I'm not taking it back.
No, it's good. It's solid. I love it. Late last, I'm gonna read this as the bedroom feminist that probably wrote it. Late last night, a Facebook post from my friend, Australian author Margaret Morgan, who's totally my friend, grabbed my attention. Oh man, and the thing is, God, what a sausage fest! Might be a safe house for atheist blokes, but what's the betting? Oh. The image was so startling sexist and tone deaf in the age of the hashtag #MeToo, I could scarcely believe it. Atheist safe house? The image shows 8 rather intimidating angry men apparently guarding this closed group of 42,114 members from unwanted intruders. And last night,
Hey, Jables, real
the
quick.
unwanted intruder was me.
Jables, real quick. Y2K has some advice for you. That's not a feminist voice. It doesn't have enough jowl flapping. And then Kat says, not woke enough.
I don't have jowls.
You gotta work on that.
So I go, should I try to? I just need to like numb my cheeks.
Get Bard and Becky the hell out of that article.
Actually. Hey, Bar, you want to Becky the hell out of this article real quick? Because that could be pretty entertaining. Come on, Bar.
The world is not yet ready.
Oh, come on. 8 men? Where were the atheist women? Was this some kind of Playboy atheist men's only club where women serve only as brainless bunnies to bolster the egos of a group of godless incels?
God, I hope so.
Or was this simply an aberration that could easily and elegantly be fixed by the admins with an oops, we screwed up, we're fixing it now? Not a bloody chance. For the past 12 months, I've been working behind the scenes at the cold face of the hashtag #MeToo movement, documenting cases of domestic violence ending in death, and looking at incidents and the consequences of trolling and cyberbullying. I've come to understand that as long as women are not represented and treated equally in society, their physical state. I'm going Cartman now. Their physical safety, mental health, and financial security be severely compromised. In short, casual sexism like this normalizes the inequality of women. This has serious consequences, the worst of which is poverty, gender violence, and death.
Yes, sire. Beer goggles do nothing for personality.
Teensy radio voice. Yeah, sure. Sorry. Let me read that last sentence again. I gotta get back in character. This has serious consequences, the worst of which are poverty, gender violence, and death. The equal representation of women in public and private matters. It matters because saving women's lives and maximizing their well-being requires a tectonic cultural shift in our society that starts with recognizing women's contributions. It is, frankly, inconceivable that a group which prides itself on intellect and reason would choose a composite photo showing 8 men, mostly white, to represent its mixed-gendered membership of 42,114 members. I love how they had to add in mostly white.
Because how do they know that? Oh wait, the photos. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I zoned out for a second. I had a Vietnam flashback. Or no, no. I think the correct term would be a Berkeley flashback.
The difference between Cartman and a feminist is Cartman is fitter and has a better personality.
Javel's cold shower now.
I don't understand the cold shower comment. Maybe you're the one that needs a cold shower. Fuck up. I joined the group last night in order to comment. Naively, I thought it would be a simple matter of drawing the issue to the attention of the admins and getting the photo changed. Why are there no men in the profile picture of this group? I wrote. You do know there are atheist women, right? Not a lot. It immediately became apparent this was not a new issue for the atheist safe house. It also became clear the admins weren't likely to take the elegant "oops, we're sorry" option. Here we go again, wrote a male member of the group. Could not agree more, but we have seen what moderators do about this. Oh goody, this again, groaned another, less supportive man. A female member said tentatively, I did ask myself the same question. Emboldened, another woman chimed in, please put Tracy Harris and Annie Laurie Gaylor. Thanks. I do like Tracy Harris. She was on the Atheist Experience today, which I had not yet watched. Others suggested Madeline Murray O'Hare, but it took a few goes to get the name and the spelling right. My friend, Australian atheist and intellect Kushla Giri, oh no, fuck, get out of here with that name. That's not white enough. Confirmed what I was beginning to suspect. It's one of the reasons I seldom contribute here, because the debates all too often echo the masthead. One male member said one might just as well argue there are no animals represented in the photo because animals are atheists as well, right? He went on to explain the image wasn't sexist because the people represented in the photo had just been picked randomly. Yeah. A student admin appeared, a female. Please read the pinned post at the top of the page. There's a section that says the debate on this topic is currently closed due to lack of consensus. I imagine the big, brave male admins ducking for cover in the cyber trenches while they sent out the female foot soldiers to throw grenades at the tiresome feminazi interloper. What the fuck kind of blog is this? Is this Tumblr?
I may as well be. It's WordPress.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy.wordpress.com.
Okay. I don't know how much longer this goes on, but I just have a few things to say. The amount of female
It's pretty long,
atheists and male atheists, yeah, we might be able to end this at any time. Who knows? The amount of female atheists to male atheists, there's such a vast difference. There's definitely a lot more male atheists, and that goes more towards a lot of different differences between men and women in general.
it's not that much longer.
Not all. And so even picking them randomly, like well-known female atheists, such as the ones that they mentioned, those are three. Jen Peoples is another one that I know about. She's pretty well-known. But overall, like, the amount of well-known female atheists that actually talk about the subject is very, very small. So picking at random, given the different amounts of people of each sex that are classified as atheists and talk about it all the time, you're more likely to get all men if you pick randomly, regardless, because there's so few. All right.
Yeah, this isn't that much longer.
Okay. Lack of consensus? About what? Atheist Safe House is a group of 42,114 people. How many times am I going to bring this number out? Atheists, 42,114 atheists, and it's 2018 for Christ's sakes. It's current year. We're in the midst of fourth wave feminism and the hashtag #MeToo movement. focusing on combating sexual harassment, assault, and misogyny. Yet, in a group of people who pride themselves on their intelligence and rationality, there's a lack of consensus over whether an image that depicts 8 blokes and no women sufficiently and fairly represents the atheist movement. Okay. A male ally raised a pertinent question. How do you get consensus when you regard the topic as closed, I wonder? Probably because before you joined, everybody argued about it too much. Nobody could reach a consensus.
Probably.
And then they closed it.
Fourth wave.
Self-admittedly, we're on the fourth wave of feminism.
Well, actually, one's a bit up for debate. Some feminists will say we're still in the third wave. Some feminists will say we're in the fourth wave, coming to the end of the fourth wave, even in some cases.
Yeah, it's like the difference between third and fourth Reich. It's tough.
No, first and second wave are clearly defined. Third wave it's somewhat clearly defined where it starts. But there's a lot of debate as to whether or not it's even ended yet. And some people are saying that we're coming. I've heard some people say we're coming to a close on fourth wave feminism. We're approaching fifth wave. It's absurd.
Yeah. Feminism. So this is Y2K. Feminism involves an invisible force that's responsible for all the bad stuff in the world. It says men are born as sinners and must spend their lives in atonement. That's why skeptics skip it. And this is, I'll get into that more at the end of the article. Is Tiki Torches and Starstruck. Very nice, sir. Okay, I'm getting back to the article. I agreed, remarking that surely the idea that men and women were equal and should be represented equally was uncontentious. Representation has nothing to do with equality necessarily. Okay. Well, there's a lot more than I thought. Okay, so...
Yeah, we can stop this whenever. We do have 3 more articles after this one to get to.
Okay, hold on. At which point, some genius suggested there should be a poll. Yeah, seriously, a fucking poll. It suggested the matter be put to a vote. Apparently, in this group, women's equality is not a given. It is a privilege which can only be bestowed of the consensus or majority vote. Deems us worthy of inclusion. It's the majority vote that got you the vote.
Yeah, Bar's saying they've had about Yeah, we've had about enough cringe.
I think I'm done with that. No, okay, so... Yeah, that's been a huge thing. Like, that's why Atheism Plus sort of fell apart, is back to what you were saying. We're kind of getting rid of religion, but a lot of people, especially on the left, like a lot of atheists are on the left, and they're replacing religion with feminism and intersectionality, where white people are inherently sinners and they need to be forgiven by by the holy feminism, and patriarchy is the devil and things like that. There's a lot of parallels.
You know, in all honesty, I think us showing the pictures of the dude who got hit in the back of the head with a flashbang would have been a lot more acceptable than this piece of shit.
Yeah.
By the way, some Antifa idiot got hit in the back of the head with, I guess, a flashbang grenade.
Yeah, well, they used a grenade launcher to launch it, but
yeah,
hit him in the back of the head, cut through his helmet.
He was wearing a bicycle helmet. Shit. It's not even ballistic, and
yeah. But start hanging out with the wrong crowds. I hate the guilt by association thing, but in that sort of situation, you're kind of guilty by association.
Yeah, no, that thing was just stupid. This based on the helmet, he was probably one of those idiots holding a cut in half 55-gallon drum as a riot shield, and it was a bicycle helmet.
Yeah, and Rimshee and I were talking about this earlier. We're finding it hard to have empathy.
Sympathy,
for this
empathy.
guy.
I just
whatever. I mix those two up all. And
yes,
yeah,
Bar.
we're finding it hard to feel bad for the guy. We know we should. Kind of hope he does all right.
Y2K.
Play stupid.
An Antifa caught a flashbang in the head, but it's okay because it didn't damage anything in Florida. Oh, yeah. That's why. That's why.
Stupid games win stupid prizes.
Yeah, no. Like I hope he makes a full recovery, but I don't have any sympathy.
From what I caught from it, I think he had a concussion and he had to get some stitches. But other than that, he's fine.
Oh, he definitely had to get stitches. He also had a drain tube put in there.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a concussion. Needed to get some stitches. As far as I saw, he's going to be making a full recovery. I looked into it a little bit more, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we can stop. We can stop with.
Yeah, let's go from this to something a little more interesting, potentially fun. Let's talk about Sir Patrick Stewart. Sir Patrick Stewart,
otherwise known as Jean-Luc Picard, captain of Starship.
Patrick Stewart to reprise Star Trek role in new CBS All Access series. And okay, yes. I gotta get my stuff.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read it because OBS kind of blocks part of it for me.
Okay. The actor will reprise his Next Generation role as Jean-Luc Picard more than 2 decades after the syndicated favorite wrapped its run. Patrick Stewart is boldly going where he has been before. Actually, that's a pretty clever opening line. I like it. As has been rumored for months, the actor has officially signed on to star in a new Star Trek series for CBS All Access, in which he will reprise his role as Captain Jean-Luc Picard. The new series will not be a reboot of The Next Generation, but instead is being described as an exploration of the next chapter of Picard's life. Additional details about the new series, including its title, episode count, or a premiere date, are being kept under wraps. The creative team for the newest Star Trek series includes Alex Kurtzman, who serves as a showrunner on CBS All Access Discovery. Makes me nervous. And
yeah, I saw that.
And his recent overall deal with CBS Television Studios included marching orders to expand the beloved and global franchise. As far as I know, Discovery Trekkers are pretty torn on that. Yeah, BAR, it's a good acronym, the STD, Star Trek Discovery, but
makes you itch about as much.
The same guy is going to be running this new series, which makes me nervous, and a lot of the Star Trek community is pretty torn on how good Discovery is.
Yeah, no, so, from my perspective, it's shit. Like this, I can't get past some of the bullshit from the first couple of episodes. I don't want to bother with any more of it because it's just not gonna. It's supposed to be from the it's supposed to be before Kirk, if I remember right.
I thought that was Enterprise.
No, Enterprise was as well.
Discovery is supposed to be before Kirk?
Yeah, if I remember right, it's supposed to be from before Kirk, because she's...
yeah, that's right, because they had
different
Klingons, and they said that the Klingons changed by the time Kirk came around and shit like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know. Klingons were garbage. I remember that. I watched it.
If the new show's not up to Sir Stewart standards, he'll just beat the stuffing out of the director.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Bar.
He'll be yelling, "Shut up, Alex." Shut up, Alex.
I will watch just about anything he's in because he's a really great actor. But we should continue.
No. Yeah. With overwhelming joy, it's a privilege to welcome Sir Patrick Stewart back to the Star Trek fold. For over 20 years, fans have hoped for the return of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and that day is finally here. We can't wait to forge new ground, surprise people, and honor generations, both new and old, said Kurtzman, who leads a creative team that also includes James Duff, the closer Major Crimes, Kiva Goldsman from Discovery, Michael Chabon from the John Carter writer, who is also penning one of the recently announced Star Trek Discovery shorts, and Kirsten Beyer from Star Trek Discovery. Okay. Michael Chabon. James Duff. Cool with their work. I don't know about these fuckers working on Discovery.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes for this based on the amount of people who worked on Discovery that are working on this. I don't have high hopes.
Well, James Duff, I liked the show The Closer. That was a good one. I haven't seen Major Crimes, but they're like good crime shows, which a lot of Star Trek is, it's
Good
essentially
Star
a space crime show.
Good Star Trek was.
Yeah.
And it didn't necessarily need to be a crime had happened. It had to be, oh, there's a mystery we have to solve, which is the essence of a good crime story.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more about the mystery.
Yeah.
Which is what makes Star Trek fucking amazing.
Yeah. God,
Especially
now I
Next
want to go
Generation.
back and watch TNG.
Cool. Maybe I'll open up a rabbit after the Saints tonight. We'll watch TNG.
That'd be fucking cool.
Stewart confirmed his return to the franchise Saturday at a Star Trek convention in Las Vegas, where he made a surprise appearance on stage. Watch and make the announcement below. Oh, is there a video?
There might be.
There is. It's at the very bottom. I know. If there's some sort of Star Trek convention posting that, I don't want to get pulled. They just have it out in texture. I will always be very proud to have been a part of the Star Trek The Next Generation. Star Trek The Next Generation. But when he wrapped the final movie in the spring of 2002, I truly felt my time with Star Trek had run its natural course, said Stewart, who will also executive produce the new series. Okay, that's different.
I have more hope now.
He's executive producing. I'm on board.
I have a lot more hope now.
Yep, if he's executive producing, I am totally on board. Because, it is therefore an unexpected but delightful surprise to find myself excited and invigorated to be returning to Jean-Luc Picard and to explore new dimensions within him, seeking out new life for him when I thought that life was over. During these past years, it's been humbling to hear many stories about how the next generation brought people comfort, saw them through difficult periods in their lives, or how the example of Jean-Luc inspired so many to follow in his footsteps, pursuing science, exploration, and leadership. I feel I'm ready to return to him for the same reason, to research and experience what comforting and reforming light he might shine on these often very dark times. I look forward to working with our brilliant creative team as we endeavor to bring a fresh, unexpected, and pertinent story to life once more. Star Trek The Next Generation ran for 7 seasons and more than 170 episodes, earning 19 Emmys and a Peabody Award. Stewart would go on to star in a number of Star Trek features, including 1998's Star Trek Insurrection, 2002's Star Trek Nemesis as Picard. Joining Stewart as exec producers on the new untitled Star Trek series are Kurtzman, Duff, Goldsman. Okay, so they're all going to be executive producers.
I'm hesitant again.
I lost a little bit of hope, but Stewart has some of that. No, that's not Star Trek kind of pull.
Yeah, he was Star Trek for a good decade.
Mm-hmm. And I do have a lot of things to say for that character as a role model.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's also, I think he's the only executive producer that actually knew Gene Roddenberry. Oh
Yeah,
no,
he's
Rod
gonna
Roddenberry,
he
the son of Gene, is going to be involved in this motherfucker.
so he's not the only one.
No.
But at least the son has some knowledge.
Or
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
I'm just hopeful enough that I'm willing to watch it.
I'm willing to watch it. I just hope that Patrick Stewart stays true to the character, which he should be able to. I'm concerned about writing staff. I don't know who's writing it, so the Stewart-led series marks the third new Star Trek effort on CBS's SVOD. That's the other thing. It's going to be on CBS's whole streaming service. It's not going to be just aired on television. That's another issue I have. I don't want to pay for another service.
I'll wait for it to hit Netflix.
Yeah. Did SGD hit Netflix yet?
I doubt it.
No, I don't. I don't think it's going to hit Netflix because it's on their own streaming service.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to watch it from the bow of a pirate ship. If you catch my drift.
Oh yeah.
um.
Effectively, I think we can move on from here. Effectively, Sir Patrick Stewart will be reprising his role as Jean-Luc Picard.
Yes.
And we went through a roller coaster of being, I'm hopeful. Oh shit. I'm hopeful. Oh shit. So what do you have to say about him being a role model?
Oh, Jean-Luc Picard. He's just not afraid to get his hands dirty. Super caring, extremely stoic, very very big on really thinking problems out and not acting too quickly.
Yeah.
Those are four extreme qualities that I aspire to. But you know, whatever. I'm probably never gonna get there. I like to joke a little too much.
In all honesty, I know the big argument between Kirk and Picard. I kind of have to say Picard has the lead for me.
It's apples and oranges, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're two totally different.
Oh, their
kinds
styles
of
are so different, but
yeah.
The more action here, the more actiony type person is gonna find Kirk more entertaining, more the better captain. Meanwhile, people who have a tendency to sit down and think through things more are gonna aspire to be Picard.
Yeah, and they've both of them have done things of the other kind too.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really apples and oranges. When you're comparing the two captains, I think they're both great, and that's how I'm gonna leave that discussion. And I'm not going to argue with anybody about it because those discussions end up being useless.
Yeah. So, shall we move on to this next one? Or shall we skip to our last one? Because we've got about a half hour left-ish.
Let's leave it up to the audience. Do you guys want to hear us talk about how straight black men are the white people of black society? The white people of black people? Or do you want to hear us talk about how Guns N' Roses left out a song while it was a little edgy and quote-unquote problematic, and how... You know what? Let's just go to the last one. I want to talk about that. If we have time, we'll go back to the other one.
Alright. In that case, boom.
Can Guns N' Roses or any artist erase an unflattering moment?
Either way, we'll come back to the white black men, straight black men, or the white people, black people one. Either this episode or another one.
I just have a few more things to say about this than the other one. So, blah, blah, blah. Guns N' Roses recently released a box set focused on its late 80s years. Appetite for Destruction, Locked and Loaded Edition. That is extremely ambitious. 4 CDs, 1 Blu-ray, 7 12-inch LPs, 7 7-inch LPs, a hardcover book, and a haul of ephemera. A female. I don't even know what that word is. And also a tiny bit disingenuous. The one song, One in a Million, which appeared on the group's 1988 album, GNR Lies, and includes offensive and bigoted language. Has been removed, a stain wiped clean from the band's historical record. Okay. Who is in charge of an artist's legacy and history? The artists themselves? Record labels? Streaming services? Lawyers? In the internet era, the answers are less clear than ever. What was once advertised as promising an infinite jukebox has become as imperfect as the old delivery systems, subject to technological changes, legal claims, and personal preferences. As physical media continues to recede from centrality, what happens online is increasingly becoming the permanent record, even if it's unreliable or incomplete. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard it, go listen to it.
I will put it in Music Rex. I have it all set up. I am going to put it in Music Rex right now. If you want to hear this shit, go to Music Rex after the show. You'll have time.
Use the N-word.
Now.
And they say faggot.
Now. God damn you, James. I don't want to leave anything unfucked.
Huh?
I don't want to leave anything unfucked. And then I open up Not Safe for Work and I just see what's in there. And I'm like, yeah, I've changed my mind on that statement.
Hey, at least I didn't actually say the N-word this time. So...
yeah, this is interesting. I think it's more of an Antifa anthem than whatever the hell they're calling it.
Well, yeah, especially after that recent thing in Seattle when they were calling black cops the N-word. See, I'm getting better.
Are you? Don't forget, we've met in person.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. Yeah. Well, no, because the reason why I say it's not an Antifa album because it's anti-immigrant. So, I mean, Antifa's pretty pro-immigrant, pretty pro-open borders. In communism, it also talks about being a hard-working man, and they're all about communism. You know that doesn't work.
No. In communism, you have to be a hard-working individual.
Sorry.
Along with everyone else has to be a hard-working individual in order for it to work. But that's completely antithetical to human reality.
Yeah.
That's right, nonsensical Mecca.
Yeah, and my answer...
yes, sire.
Yeah,
ethnic Nigerians.
Talk about on the podcast. You mean ethnic Nigerians? What, you mean Princess Vitara? She posted nudes the other day as a thank you for like 1 million subscribers or something.
Really?
Nice. Check her out.
Those obviously belong in Not Safe for Work.
Yeah, and I'm not going to share them right now. I'm saving them.
Yeah, but we have a...
Anyways, my thing was...
We have a server full of people who could find that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, she just posted it on Twitter. Like, it's not hidden.
Yeah, so, but I'm lazy.
Links to you, Rimshee. Yeah, my whole thing about this entire article is they're asking about this song that I hadn't heard of before, and obviously some in the chat had never heard of before, and they were asking if people would forget about this song. Here's the thing: people already forgot about it now that you wrote the article and it's out on the internet, and everybody's going to be looking to it because they're like, "What's so offensive about this?" The article's going to that song's going to stick around forever, and now they're going to be known by that song. So you fucked up.
Well, you fucked up if you wanted to help Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
Oh.
There wasn't anything left in that article, really. It just talked about how other people talked about it on a podcast. That's it.
But let's be honest. This is just mildly absurd. Let's prevent racism by talking about how this song is racist, and we hope that it disappears into all of the annals of time, or whatever. God damn.
Let's prevent bigotry by talking about how this song that they've supposed to exclude from their new release of all this shit that's a box set. Let's talk about how bigoted this one song is that they no longer stand by. And have everybody look it up. And just, just share it around. Make sure everybody's aware of it. Because I wasn't aware of it, like I said, I wasn't aware of it beforehand. Several people in the chat weren't aware of it beforehand. Crazy shit. But then again, this is also a New York Times article, and we know how they feel about racism nowadays.
I'd be shocked if Guns N' Roses even remembered.
Yeah, this was from a 1988 album, especially. That's like prime time. Yeah.
Slash, when did we sing about this? Ethnic Nigerians.
Yeah. The people from Niger.
I feel like ethnic Nigerians might become a thing. We should just inundate the Saints with that tonight.
Just whatever we're just saying Nigerians.
And Slash is half ethnic Nigerian.
Those damn Nigerians.
No, ethnic Nigerians.
Those damn ethnic Nigerians. God damn. They're doing well in our country. Yeah. A lot of them are doctors. And they hate American black people, apparently.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That's what my mom said about one of the guys who was working for her a while back.
Yeah, if you want to hear about that, check out My Name is Josephine on YouTube. She talks about that quite a bit. She was born in Nigeria, and her parents are from Nigeria.
Bar. Bar's. I think Bar is suggesting that Slash probably wrote the song.
Well, there's also, it's the bridges in between the chorus and the verses where like the offensive shit is said. Except for the immigrants one. That one's like all out. Build a fucking wall. Build a fucking wall. Yeah, the verse about the immigrants is all about how they don't want them there, and how immigrants suck, pretty much.
You know, something that has been kind of echoed for a long time now, but no president has actually done anything about it. And now that Trump is saying the things, oh, it's so bad!
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got into a conversation with somebody who's pretty far left, total like communist type. He's a good guy overall, though. he was talking he was saying some stuff that just wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you're making me defend these people. He's like, well, just don't defend them then. It's like, well, you're saying fake shit, so I have to say something.
To be intellectually honest.
You're not spreading the truth. And he was like, blah, blah, well, prove me wrong. It's like, no, you're making the claim, prove me wrong. Because as far as I know, this is what the actual situation is. If you have more information, share it with me. That's fine. It's like, yeah, okay. Heard nothing from him about it after that. So,
yeah, I don't have to. It's not my job to prove a negative.
Yeah. Hashtag atheism. uh,
Yeah, Y2K.
yeah. Speaking of language, that's the issue.
Yeah, it's the language. It's all about the language.
Yeah. Which we must police.
God.
All right. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Nobody. It's not even that good of a song, for one thing. It's all right, I guess, but it's definitely not in their top 100 of best songs.
It will be now.
Yeah, well, based on searches and how many listens it gets, sure. But overall, it's not that good of a song, and I don't think anybody would have noticed them leaving that song out if this article didn't come out.
Guns N' Roses probably didn't even realize they left that song out.
Yeah. Yeah, Mecca. They said it. That's the problem. Yeah, especially, right after Papa John gets booted out of his own company. That Netflix guy got fired just for saying a certain word.
So stupid.
Yep.
Meanwhile, that one chick who was very racist towards white people. Oh no, it was counter trolling. Aimed at everyone.
It was a response to people that were harassing me that I didn't @reply or quote tweet. Yeah.
Dude, I went back to those pictures. I'm gonna put the link to these. No, actually, we can't. If you want the link to these pictures from this Portland dude who got shot in the head with a flashbang, it's mostly bloody. Just DM me.
Or me. I'll send the link to you too. So.
That way we have something to talk about in the Discord later.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was thinking about sharing it with everybody, but I was like,
because it's gore, we can't be doing that in the server itself.
We can show the helmet. Is what Bar's saying. Because there is a picture that just shows the helmet.
Yeah,
it's no gore or anything like that.
But you got to get the picture separate. Is the only thing.
Yeah,
and there's
it's a 4-picture set. I mean, I could do that. I could do that right now. No, it's not as bloody as Man Pawns. Yeah.
Yeah, if you get the first one in the thread, you're good. But or you get the helmet, the one as the one in the thread, you're good. But most of it is not Discord safe.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 pictures that are literally just the helmet. The other 2 are not. Boop, boop. Loading.
The dude's text is pretty awesome too. My comrade was shot in the back of the head by Portland police today. He was hit with the very first flashbang the cops shot. Make no mistake, this was an act of aggression, and there will be hell to pay. I guess Antifa is going on the warpath in Oregon.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So Rimshee, I just DM'd you the 2 pictures of the helmet. No gore, no blood.
Yeah, I'll be putting these in shit posting. If you want to take a look at this shit.
Aw, Antifa threatening cops. That's cute. It's all they do. I don't know if you guys saw that video. Cute shoeless guy with compound bow. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw the whole video of the Antifa in Seattle yelling at a black cop, calling him the N-word, calling him an ethnic Nigerian. And, yeah, it's...
Oh, I got an idea. Here, I'll put the link to one of the tweets that doesn't have any images in it in there. If you click on that, you'll get the entire thing.
Oh. Yeah, that works.
Beware, there is gore.
Kinda. By the way, guys, if you could help us do some research on things that we can get away with if we label this channel as educational, that would be great. Because I mean, we're going through news stories and we're discussing things, so technically it's educational. Yeah.
Well, the voice chat's completely barren. Yeah, we're coming up on nearing the end. We got about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes. So you want to run through that other article?
This one's a little long. I don't think we can cover it in 5 minutes.
The progressive stack is stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the ultimate takeaway from that article. We'll talk. It'll be the first thing we talk about next week.
Also, as well as the Saints, I've been thinking about, and I've talked to Rimshee about this a little bit, about how us having like different kinds of segments and stuff like that. Since we've just been doing like news, and then bringing on a guest, and then doing like a news article and talking about that, we've been thinking about doing different segments and stuff. Let us know what you guys think you'd like us to do. I have a few ideas. I'm not going to share them here, but and it's not like something that we would do weekly. I'd like to do like different segments week by week, mix things up a lot. Let us know anything you'd like to see. I know Nick and Jeff are doing their format changes, so everybody's focused on that a bit more. But if there are some things that Jeff and Nick decide not to do that we might be interested in, let us know. For sure.
We're just poor lizard farmers trying to make our way in life.
Yeah. Trying to hit that 1,000 subscribers. That 4,000 hours of watch time within the last 12 months.
That's his goal. My goal is just to have fun.
Yeah. My goal is to have fun. I just want... It would be nice just to have the option of monetization. We'd never be monetized, for sure. But, you know,
and whose fault would that be, Jables?
Both of our faults.
Mainly yours.
You're too conservative for YouTube to monetize us. So.
Yeah, but I can toe the line if need be. I did it for 5 years.
Yeah.
More accurately, I didn't get caught when I wasn't towing the line.
I'm just a loose cannon. I don't care. If I think it's funny, I'm pretty much gonna say it. And the fact I haven't been fired from my job yet is just a testament to how good of a worker I am. All right. I think it's time to close this out. Anything extra you want to shell?
I literally just stumbled on an article called "Florida Man Who Carries Alligator into Liquor Store Doesn't Remember the Incident."
Oh, I was gonna send you that article, but I figured we had a bunch already. Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I
I think
guess we'll
Ranting
be
Monkey covered it during his Lord of the Night stream.
covering it at some point.
Tune in next week to figure out what the fuck is going on with that Florida man.
Assuming you haven't already gone and looked it up yourself.
Yeah. Also, tune in next week where it might just be a Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I may be off vacationing in a place where I may or may not have internet.
Yeah. I might have my desktop by then. We're running into some issues with the motherboard and shit like that. That's why I don't have it yet.
Dear God, we'll talk about this offline.
Go. So, with that, we have been your Lesser Saints of Discord. Your one and only pre-show to the YouTube Saints, which is coming up in about half an hour at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope you guys tune in there. Give them your money. They need it. Nick's birthday is coming up too on Wednesday, so happy birthday to Nick. Happy birthday today to the Mars rover. And yeah, I've been Jables. Follow me on Twitter.
I'm Rimshee. Come talk to me in the Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good. Oh shit! I need to go back to.
Good night. We love you. Bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. What are you still doing here? Go. It's over. Show's done. It's time to go. Bye. Bye. Guys, what are you still doing here? Fucking leave. Get the fuck out of here. Hippity hoppity, get off my